Yeah, I'm about to start right now. Okay, guys, welcome back to class. Sorry about yesterday. We know that the lab materials were not perfect. Okay, we apologize in advance. Your company probably in the future is going to apologize to you too, but they're going to give you money, so you're going to say it's okay. Okay, that's a part of life. Not trying to be a smart ass, man. I'm just trying to tell you guys some real shit. You know, real shit. There's no such thing as perfect documentation. And your technical lead, they're gonna try really hard to help you, but just know that that person is gonna be really busy, and they're not gonna be there to hold your hand all the time, right? So sometimes we gotta figure it out on our own, just like with our girlfriends. They don't say everything, but we need to figure it out. Okay, we need to figure out what they mean. So we decided we're gonna do this lesson again because login is that important. You guys are going to implement login a bunch of times. I guarantee it. This is probably one of the most important features, you know? Like there's apps that are sexy to build for like demonstration purposes, such as chat and like, you know, just a bunch of other types of apps that we can build. But not every app in the world requires a chat feature. But almost every single app in the world will require a login feature. In conjunction, the most important takeaway of this week was to try to figure out how we can get our React and our Python applications to talk to each other, to share data, right? Because we need to pass data back and forth. I actually kind of like the idea of doing these applications again because I think it gives us a second to think about like the big picture of what's going on, okay? So we spent some time yesterday reading instructions, you know, Googling, getting told what to do by lawyer or qua. So what are some of the things that we did yesterday, guys? Like in terms of data, okay? Remember, in information technology and computer science, we're almost always dealing with data, right? So what was the first piece of data that we were trying to figure out? We were trying to get the current user, right? The current user's information, right? We don't want them to have to enter a form. They punch in their email. They put in a password. We just want some basic information about them, and we want it to be as easy as it can be for them, right? All they gotta do is click a button. And where was this button? On Facebook, right? Well, they had to click a button before they got to that button, but it's 2 button clicks, okay? We're trying to make it easy for our user because we're trying to get traction. We're trying to get them to adopt our platform. So we need to make the sign-up process as easy as possible, okay? I guarantee you guys are gonna have to implement Facebook login one day. When you leave here, right, we're going to have shown you guys how to do it, and you guys are gonna need to do it again. I guarantee it. Okay, so that being said, once again, we're saying it's okay to do things again from the beginning. So I'm gonna try to do it from the beginning, and please, you know, you guys, if something is unclear, please, you know, raise your hand, let me know if you guys have any questions, okay? All right. Yes, I'm recording right now. I'm gonna upload this one. Hopefully we're gonna do a better job the second time around, okay? Okay? The first time I kissed a boy, it didn't go so great, but the second time was a lot better, okay? So I'm gonna create a directory. We're gonna call this one full stack typing. I don't know if that's a great name. I'm just calling it that for now, okay? Full stack typing. It doesn't matter what this is called, to be honest with you. As long as we remember what it's called. All right, so I moved into my folder. We have nothing here. We're gonna open up our instructions. Okay, I'm gonna pop up over here so you guys can see that it's not anything too magical going on. It's just reading. And I guess English is a little bit magical sometimes, maybe. So we're gonna go to FTW. We're gonna be looking at our instructions. This might be our documentation. And you can imagine this as just being your documentation. We're gonna go over to our adding users with and deploying, and we can see that it's a little bit updated right now, okay? So I'm gonna click this button, and you're gonna see that, obviously I read it already, you guys can read it, but basically this is saying that, hey, we need to set up an API, okay? And almost every single library and framework you guys will run across, you guys will see little templates that are set up for you, that have already all the setup. This is why I was telling you guys in week 3 when we got into JavaScript world, or week 2 it was, that it's okay to look at templates. That doesn't bother me at all because this is an expectation. And there's certain companies where like when They have like their technologies that they use all the time, that they have their own internal templates that they use, that like, oh, pretty much every project that we're gonna build is gonna need A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. So we're gonna create a template, and everyone who works at our company can simply clone it to get going quickly. So you guys can see that this is open. I'm gonna clone it. I'm gonna jump back over to our path right here, okay? So we're gonna run git clone, and I'll call this one the API. Because in reality, that's what it is. It's serving as our API. It's gonna provide some data for our client, okay? So now the expectation is we have our folder inside of here. Sweet, okay? We have a folder inside of here. Additionally, I forgot to add this to instructions. There's an additional link. Qua here, I noticed this yesterday when I'm refactoring, that Qua added his little touch to this project. I liked it. I was impressed. So I needed to update it myself, okay? So we're gonna clone this project. This is the React front end, okay? So we're gonna do git clone, and we're gonna say client. Oops, why is this not working? Git clone. Something wrong? Git clone client. Okay, so we cloned one publicly available repository, and we cloned another publicly available repository that I personally built. So one will serve as our API, the other one will be our client. Okay, so we're gonna move into our API, then we're gonna move into our client, CV client. Okay, so let's go back to our instructions again. And we can see that obviously there's some additional setup required, right? Required to run our Flask application. So we'll go back to our API and we'll run it. Python 3-m v&v v&v. We're going to source our dependencies. Okay, so we can see that we got v-env here. So it seems that everything's okay. And then we're going to run pip install -r requirements.txt. This will simply look at the file. It will simply look at the requirements.txt. It will read it and it'll say, hey, what are the requirements for this folder? What are the requirements for this project? Please go download them, and we're going to be using them in just a moment. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up our client as well. And if you guys take a look at this file closely, what can you guys see different than what we did yesterday? The one that we got on Monday. Or was it Tuesday? Tuesday. Okay. What are some things that are different, guys, than what we cloned on the internet? Exactly. So just know that that's how it always works. Someone did some basic work, they got it working. It's kind of messy. The code is a little bit messy. We need to do more. That's our job, for real. That's gonna be your job. I remember when I worked at Best Red, he told me my primary job was to make sure that whenever we work with a team, the code was like okay, that I would be happy with it. You know, my CTO told me that. So, you know, I was kind of unhappy with the code yesterday. I was looking at it. I was like, man, you know, like all these components are in one file. I keep reading on the internet and saying that you should only put one component in one file. Can I refactor this? Am I a programmer? And I got to thinking, and I realized, yeah, I am a programmer. I can do this. So I extracted out all the files. I extracted out all the files into a folder called components, you know? And you know, we just named them correctly. We used some basic knowledge of how to import React, you know, and then we defined our components inside of here. I refactored it a little bit using some functional versus class-based components. I guarantee you guys, you compare this to yours. The clock was a class-based component unnecessarily. You know, like it was not like the application would have still ran, right? It would have still ran, and the problem hasn't arisen yet because there's only 5 components here, right? But just know this is a test of our own skills, right? I want you guys to do this yourselves. You know, I want you guys to have that type of confidence that you guys can do this. I remember with Gwen and her team. I think it was with you, Kung and Sean. I remember when you guys first submitted the GitHub, either the IMDb movies or the GitHub issues. you guys are like, oh, how can we make the components, the folder structure better, right? And I just did it. I remember I did it one morning for you guys, just like live stream, like 5 to 10 minutes did it, right? And it's possible, you know, it just takes a little bit of thinking, right? You gotta put on our thinking hats, right? So we extracted out some code. We use our knowledge of ES6 importing, ES6 exporting, as well as functional versus class-based components. So now what was the result? What was the end result here? The end result was our app.js became more manageable.
Functional because it doesn't handle state?
Yeah, so we did functional because yes, exactly. Remember, that's the difference right there. A functional component does not have knowledge of what this is. We cannot use the keyword this. That's why we can use a functional component. But in order to have state, we can, in fact, we have to have this. True or false? False. Remember, what else? What other way can we have state inside of a functional component? Come on, guys, come on. Right here, something magical right here. It's called. Yeah, so we can introduce state to a functional component, right? We can, but by looking at the component. But see, the fact of the matter is I didn't write a book last night. You know, I didn't do this all from the beginning. I simply read the code. I simply read it. You know, like so. Like, hey, if you guys open up the code, where is that? The README. Some guy named Quasi. I don't know if he's any good. This guy right here. He probably doesn't know what he's doing. So I just read it, you know, I opened it up. I was like, you know what, man, I'm a programmer, I could do this. Read it. So you guys can poke around, you see, this is super, like what, almost 300 lines. And you guys can see, for example, the footer. Just read it, right? Do we see the keyword this anywhere? Right here in this footer component? No, right? There's no this keyword. That is an indicator. That is an indicator that it can be refactored to a functional component. Okay? Right? So I also got rid of the warnings. People like it when you get rid of warnings. So I don't know, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to say that this is all doable. You guys are more than qualified to do this at this point, okay? Don't be scared to change the code because that's what you're gonna be expected to do one day, okay? The expectation one day is not that you guys go build a project from the beginning. The expectation is that you can clone a repository someone gives you access to, read the code, understand what's going on, and change it as necessary, okay? Sometimes your boss is gonna want you to change code that they don't even tell you to change. You know, if you make a pull request and it simply makes the code cleaner, they're gonna be impressed. And I think that's a more highly qualified skill. Like if you can do that without someone telling you to. That's what the type of people they want. Okay? All right, so enough for lecturing. Let's get back to what we were doing. Okay, so I forgot what I just ran. We ran pip install -r requirements. Once again, that simply looked at the requirements inside the requirements.txt and it just downloaded them. Okay, so we see that we have some instructions here. After installation, we can create a new app or use our previous tic-tac-toe lab. Okay, so I'm just going to use the one from tic-tac-toe to simplify this. I don't want you guys to sit around and watch me click buttons. Okay, so I'm gonna hop over to tic-tac-toe. I'm gonna look in our settings in basic. And then I can see that this is where our app ID and our app secret is. This is where we need to get our this is where we can find our app ID and our app secret. So, I don't actually know where I'm supposed to put this. So I'm gonna hop back to the instructions and keep reading. And we can see that we need to configure. We need to configure the redirect URL, okay? So basically this command right here, just a high level overview. What this is saying is telling Facebook like, hey, this application, right? This application that you're signing up for, that you want users to be able to use Facebook to sign up for, when the user has clicked the button that says like allow or sign in with Facebook or whatever, where do you want us to send them? Okay, because we're gonna tell them to go somewhere. And right now we're gonna say direct 127 blah blah blah. But in the future, this is going to change for something. This is going to change to our production URL. Okay, but right now we're working in development. This is what we need. So we can go back to our Facebook login, go to our settings, and we can see that it's right here. It's already set up. Okay, so we'll just leave that right there, and we'll go back to settings and basic. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and keep moving forward. Once again, here's another explanation. There's a step that we missed yesterday. We apologize, okay? For the dot, so right now in the project that we cloned from GitHub, the one that I didn't make, there is a file called .env.example, okay? This is the simplest example of how to use it. One day, can I paste it here? How do I copy it? Okay, so later on, you guys might have .env.local, or my bad, .development. That's probably what it's called, development. And then .production. Okay? What that means is like there's a hierarchy depending on your configurations. You guys remember how we had like debug equals true, like in certain places? Well, if debug is equal to true or development is equal to true, Flask will, by convention, know to look at certain files for the configurations for the app. Okay? But right now we're not going to get into that because you guys aren't running 50 servers yet. When you guys figure out how to run 50 servers at the same time and blah blah blah, then we'll talk about this in more detail. For the use case right now, we're simply going to rename this file to .env. Okay, this will work in every single environment, in local, in development, in production, and we're just going to copy over this right here. Okay, we're going to replace the content. This ID will not work. I'm telling you, I already scrambled my ID, but I'm recording it now, so I don't even know why I did it. Now that I think about it, I'm recording it. So if you guys really want my Facebook ID, fine. You can just use it. I don't even care. I'm gonna be a little upset that you guys are too lazy. Whatever. Okay. Additionally, right here, guys, this is our URL for our local PostgreSQL database. Okay. Here's my configurations. Once again, the reason why this once we push to production, this will not work. Right, we need to replace this. Okay, so I think that's enough right there. I think this is enough setup. There should be one more step to create this database. I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking about this. Yes. Okay, we're gonna keep moving forward. All right. So additionally, after we update this file, we need to run. We need to install an additional dependency. Okay, pip install python-.env. But when we use create React app, it does that automatically for us, okay? Once again, create React app, it just does a whole bunch of setup stuff for us so that we don't need to do it by ourselves. We also need to load our dot environment. So we're gonna add this to our config.py. Config.py. This is just basically a file that's looked at by Python or by Flask and it's saying, hey, what are your configurations for your application? Please, please run this. Do you have any questions so far, guys? Fine, keep moving. Additionally, another dependency is we need to install pip install -u Flask cores. Okay, so this is going to give us cores, right? Just a high-level overview, cores is cross-origin request signatures, right? Signatures. Basically, it's the way in the internet, it's a convention that applications can make requests back and forth to each other. So we're working with two applications and they need to send data back and forth, right? So for example, our create React app needs to send a score to our API. Our API needs to send scores to our client. So we need to copy over one line right here to our init Python. We're gonna do this right below this right here. Right below the app equals Flask _ name, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay, sweet. So now I expect that we can run our API using the special command right here. The special command, all it does is add HTTPS, okay? And now we have a problem. No module name Flask login. Was this not in the requirements? Requirements. That's interesting. Shouldn't it be installing? Okay, no. So remember, guys, sometimes, even though a second ago I ran pip install, right? Everything, right? I'm still having this problem. So I have a hypothesis that if I deactivate and then source again, that it will work. This is my hypothesis. Okay, we deactivated, we're running it again. Now let's try to run our server. Okay, so we got past that error, and here's another step. I should have probably written this down. We need to install something called PyOpenSSL. So we're gonna do, we're gonna Google it, because I don't have this command memorized. We're gonna Google, we're gonna look at the first link. Usually the first link is good. And we can see right here, there's the command. So we're gonna jump back over to our command line. We're gonna run pip install PyOpenSSL. Okay, should I be able to run this now, guys? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I might have to deactivate. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Yeah, so we were able to run it. Nice. Okay, so you guys can see that our server is running at HTTPS. Okay, HTTPS. So I like doing the Control-C/Command or Command on Mac, holding it, clicking it. Okay, so the expectation is that we do see this window. This is the expectation. A high-level overview of what's going on here is that basically this certificate, the HTTPS certificate, is not like a real one. Okay, we kind of like faked it. We faked it, and Chrome was smart enough to know that, like, oh shit, this is a fake HTTPS certificate or certification. We need to warn our user. They're trying to protect us so that we don't get hacked in the future. Okay, and this is a good thing, but for development purposes, it's a difficult thing. But we know what to do. We don't need to be scared. All we gotta do is click this button below. Okay, so if I click it, I see that we say name course is not defined, and it's saying course app within our net.py, course is not defined. So what does that mean? We need to import it. Amazing. Okay, so I don't know how to import it. Import course. I don't remember the exact syntax, to be honest with you. So I'm just gonna look at the documentation. Let's go down, bam, I've got to import it. Okay, so we're gonna do import there, and I hope this will work. So we jump back over to our thingy and I'll refresh. Sweet. Okay, so now let's get a high level overview of what's going on. We're gonna open up our application, or our console log, and then we're gonna look at our application inside of our cookies. Okay, we don't see anything in local storage. We don't see anything in session storage, but we do see something inside of our cookies. This is just basically a little piece of code that is stored on our on the client, on the browser, so that the application can run faster and it doesn't have to do as many steps in the future. Once again, I'm sure I've shown you guys this before. I'll show you again. If you guys look at Facebook as an example, there are a bunch of them. Right? Here's some here. We have same thing in local storage. Look how many that Facebook hides. It's okay to do this. Okay, this actually makes you a better developer, if you ask me, if you know how to do this. These are things, little snippets of code, which like obviously you and I don't know because we don't work at Facebook, but these do something, right? This isn't magic. All these do something, and it makes, basically, at the end of the day, it makes the application run better for the end user. It's okay to stick some data in here, okay guys? Right? Okay, so we're gonna move forward. We're gonna refresh. And why does it say I'm logged in right now? Because I have a session right here, I think, right? Right? Oops. Okay, so we'll go to advance, we'll go to proceed. Okay, so I'm pretty confident that if I were to delete this, then, and refresh the page, it would show that I'm logged out, okay? So we're gonna try it, we're gonna delete it, we're gonna refresh, and now you guys can see that I am in fact logged out. So basically know that when this application ran, when our Flask application ran on the client, one of the first things it did was it looked inside of the cookies and it looked for a session token, or a session, right? If it found that session token, it would know that we had logged in previously. That being said, the inverse of that is if we log in, we're going to see a session token set. Okay, we're gonna see the set. So I'm gonna click login, and then we see that it was set for a second, and then it directed us over to Facebook. Okay, we click that button, it directed us over to Facebook. So what is the behavior that we expect right now? If we click on this button, where is it going to direct us, guys? Say again?
The one that you set in the TikTok.
Yes, where we set in TikTok, correct. It's gonna direct us to the place that we set when we went to developers.facebook.com. Okay? So we're gonna click it, and you're gonna see that it directs us to that URL, and then that URL is gonna direct us somewhere else. So I'm gonna click it. It sends us to 127 5000, and then it says, "Oh shit, you are logged in." Nice. Okay. So why is this not logging us over, sending us over to our React application? Because we haven't written code that does that yet. Okay. So just know that Facebook, what's going on is that we opened up the application. The end user went to our application, right? They went to our application somehow, and then they clicked the button, and that button said, that button said, "Hey, I want to sign in with Facebook." When they clicked that button, we directed them to Facebook. Facebook, validated, authenticated, and checked to make sure that the user could sign in, had the correct email, password, etc. Right? Afterwards, when the user authenticated through Facebook, a third-party sign-in, it directed us back to our API. Now our API has control of the user. The API can do whatever it wants, right? But now it's validated. It says, hey, like now the user is in fact signed in. So we go back to our application, we can see that we have the session token now. Once again, obviously, if I delete it, I'll be signed out again. Okay, so that's not good enough, right? We want to do more. So we're gonna keep going in our instructions, and we need to do more. So right now we go on to explaining how we use PostgreSQL. Just know that in a second ago, whenever we did this part right here, where we did the .env, this is sort of where we set it up. I think we need to do a little bit more here. We're gonna find out in just a second, okay? So we're gonna keep scrolling, Read the instructions. We need to create a token table. So I'm just gonna copy this over, this code for the token table. I'm gonna paste it into our models. We go down to the very bottom, paste it below all our other models. Okay, that seems good. So just, remember once again what this token does. This is a completely different table in our database, okay? One second. This token is a table in our database, and we're going to use this token to identify the user, as well as to identify the user, as well as to give or block permissions. So right now we have exactly one token, and this shouldn't be working because this is my old database. Okay, so one second. Let's go back to our instructions. So we create this token. There's a UUID. This is what we're gonna put in a random string. Okay, this random string will in fact be the token. Okay, we also have a user underscore ID, which will be the actual ID of the user that owns this token. Lastly, we have a relationship right here, right? We added a user so that we can quickly identify who this token belongs to. Okay? So we have another code snippet here inside of oauth.py, inside of a method called Facebook logged in. We're going to replace the content where it says return false. So I'm going to go to OAuth. I'm going to scroll down to this code block that we're looking for. Facebook logged in, and we're going to see that where it says return false, we need to do something differently. So we're going to copy this code right here. And yeah, it looks good.
There's a return false on that.
Say again. Okay, so right now you can see that as soon as we copy and pasted this code over, that we're getting some warnings, and we can solve these warnings. So the first warning is that saying that a token is undefined. Oops. Token is undefined. So we can import this from our models. Okay. Additionally, it's saying that UUID is undefined. right? So we can import this. Is it just import? I forget. Import like that?
Yeah.
I think it's that. Okay. So we're importing these two dependencies. One is a model that we define in a different file. Remember, like just like in React world, guys, yes, we defined it in a different file, but we need to import it for use in this file. Additionally, there's a library called UUID, and this library has a single responsibility, which is to produce a string, okay? It's going to produce a string. So for example, we can open up a new browser or a new tab, we'll source, then we'll open up Flask. Remember, Flask shell is like a little playground. It's like a little scratch pad. We can just mess around with stuff. We can import UUID, and then you can run this command, and we can see that when we run it, it just generates a random string. This is our token, okay? Any questions so far? Okay, so what is the objective here? Know that Facebook logged in will run. This method will run each time the user pushes that button. I really wish my Facebook was not in Vietnamese. I think it's looking at our IP and it's determining what language to show us. But in any case, trust me, okay? When the user, they click the login button, they're directed to Facebook, and then they click the next button or the tip button, Facebook will redirect to our app, and this function right here, this method right here will run, okay? The result of this method is that we simply say, hey, can we find a token for this user that has just signed in? If so, sweet. If not, we're going to create one, we're gonna add it to our database, we're gonna commit, and then we're going to redirect to the user to a URL. And now we see in the complaint that redirect is undefined. So, even though this is not in our instructions, we can fix this, okay? So we just import it from Flask, right? Our code editor is helping us. It's telling us what the problems are. So in this case, we're redirecting to HTTP localhost 3000. Oops. I wonder if this can be S right here. Let's just leave it as HTTP and see what happens. So just trust me, guys. I set up the React application. Okay, so now we can just run npm install, right? Because we just cloned it. We cloned the repository to our machine, so we now need to run npm install to grab all of the dependencies in React world. Okay, everything seems to have gone well. So now we can run npm start. Okay, so it seems as if our application is running. I'm gonna close it and we're gonna move forward. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our HTTPS right here, and we're going to start again from the beginning. So I think everything should be okay. Let's just go ahead and save all our files. Oops. Don't save. Okay, so for some reason, for the security reason, this certificate is regenerated every single time we go to this URL. So we need to constantly go back to this URL, okay guys? So we're gonna click advance, we're gonna go to proceed, it's gonna kick us over to Facebook. Whoops, I guess because I was already logged in, it did not kick us over there. So we log out, okay? I'll refresh. Let's just try it one more time. Go here. Okay, we're gonna click the button now. Click the button. Go to Facebook, click this button to log in. Facebook is going to check whether or not we have, whether or not we're the real Lloyd Tran. Okay, so what happened really quickly there is that like Facebook authenticated, it sent us to our API, and then our API did what? It directed us back to the client. And when we look at our server logs, we'll see that that's exactly what happens. So right here. So when Facebook was done, Facebook sent us to this URL right here, login/Facebook/authorize. And it gave us this token inside of the authorization code right here, okay? So a 302 means a redirect, and then that redirected us, right? Does that mean 302 is redirect now? 302 means redirect. The application told us to go somewhere else. We went to this endpoint, the application did some stuff, and at the very end of the day, it told us to go somewhere else. You're done here. Okay, and that's how we ended up being inside of our local host 3000. Okay, so that's not enough yet. We need to add more dynamic behavior. Here's a funny little image that Charles put, because I guess this is him thinking about how he used to work back in the day, being an old man.
That's because we did
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so we've done basically the same thing. The truth is we've done the same thing before, except we didn't explain it as much. Okay, we said we did it with Node.js. So here's a code snippet that I told you guys to copy over, or I'm telling you guys to copy over right now. Your technical lead gave you some code and it wasn't that great, and then another junior developer, just a talented junior developer, came along and helped you guys out even more. Okay, so we're gonna jump back over to our app.js and just know that we need to paste this right here. Okay, so basically, what is the objective of this code? The objective is to look for a token inside your session storage or inside the URL. If neither one of these exists, we're going to redirect them back to the original sign-in page, which in this case happens to be a Flask API running at 127 blah blah blah. Additionally, if we find an access token in the URL, we're going to set it with inside our session storage. Lastly, we need to set state with this bad boy. So we're going to say our token is either an existing token or an access token. Okay? So to prove that this works, I'm going to go down to the bottom of our render method, and I'm simply going to console.log. Superman this.state. Okay, we're gonna go back to our React app. We're gonna open up our console, and we're gonna see that we do have Superman and we do have this.state, which is an object. And we do have a token right here, okay? So just know that this token came from where, guys? It could have came from one of two places. Think about the code that we just copied and pasted over. Where are the two places that this could have came from? It could have came from the URL, right? Window.location.search. If you type this into your browser, it's going to give you some information about, this URL, and you can look at it, right? You can see a whole bunch of other stuff, right? And specifically, we can look at search. That's what we're looking at right here. So we do that search, and you can see that breaks it down to the string, and then now we're going to run an additional method called split, and that's going to break down this string into an array of different things, right? And then inside of that, we're going to look at the first one, right? And if the first one is equal to this thing right here, that will be true. It will be a question mark equals API underscore key, that will be true. If that is true, we'll just grab the second array. You guys all with me? Yeah? Okay, and then what are we gonna do with that? We're just gonna stick that inside of our access token. And in a moment, we're gonna look at both of these, we're gonna compare. Do we have neither one of them? Okay? So what basically that means is it says, hey, if the user navigates here to localhost 3000 alone, right? It's also gonna, it may not necessarily fail. It may also look at our session storage. So let's just test it. I'm gonna run it, and I expect to see Superman at the bottom with an object as well as a piece of state called token. I run it, we look at Superman, we have the token. So this time I can guarantee you that this token did not come from our access token in the URL. It came from where? Yes, it came from the session storage. How did it get into the session storage? How did it get there? Because the very first time we went to this URL, we were directed from our API, and there was in fact a URL, there was in fact an argument or something right here, a parameter here, right? When that ran, line 25 through 27 ran, and we set it. Okay, we set it. That's what happened right there. So that's why when we look in our application, and then we see our session storage, we can see that the token is right here. Okay? Okay, so now we're gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and add a button now, just to be clear. I felt like, so I want you guys to know that I want you guys to learn as much as you can. That's my personal goal in this class, right? So sometimes, for example, documentation may not be perfect, and sometimes I'm gonna ask you guys to do things that are harder, right? You're gonna be like, oh, I don't see instructions that say this, That's because I want you guys to challenge yourselves and do something more difficult. okay? So right now, inside of our header, we're gonna add a button. We're gonna call this one, I'm just gonna use a single variable right now, okay? This.state.token.length. If it's greater than 3, right? If it's greater than 3, I'm gonna say that we have one. We're gonna say that we do in fact have a token. We're gonna say sign out, okay? Otherwise, we're gonna say sign in. And right now, we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna look at it. So right now, why can we sign out? Why do we see the sign out button right here? Because we have a token. We've got that token. So basically, just know that getting that token wasn't magical. It wasn't a piece of magic that got us that token. How we got that token was that the user did what? The user went to our API. Our API gave them a button. When they clicked that button, we directed them to Facebook.
I'm not sure I understand.
Getting this token wasn't magical, right? It was not magical. The user went to our website, our web application, directed them to Facebook. They authenticated through Facebook, right? They didn't give us an email. They didn't give us a phone number. They didn't give us a password. They simply signed into Facebook. And then Facebook did some black magic, okay? So this is a little bit of black magic, okay? Facebook did some black magic, and they proved to us that this person signed in, and they sent us back to our website. Once the user went to our website, they ended up at an endpoint. Right here. This endpoint right here. This is just some code that is so commonly used. Someone else wrote it for us. They gave us a library and they wrote it for us, right? They put it on GitHub for us. And at the very end of this, when this method was done running, we directed them forward. We forced them to go somewhere else, okay? We said, hey, go to localhost 3000, right? And additionally, stick an API key in here, right? What is this API key, guys? It's the token table. It's this one right here. Oh, no, my bad. It's this one right here, okay? It could be either one. It could be one that we found or the one that we created, okay? And just know that the UUID is basically the random string that was generated, okay? All right, so once that happened and we directed them to our front-end application, what happens? Our app loaded, the constructor method fired, and then we ran this logic right here from lines 15 through 42, okay? And obviously there's a lot going on here, but the three most important things, right? Three most important things that we look for a token. We look for it in session storage, and we look for it in the window, right? If we found it inside the window, then we would set it to session storage. And lastly, we decided, hey, either token, either the existing token or the access token, please stick that in our state. When that occurred, right, at the very bottom, not the very bottom, on line 159, we decided to show the user a div based on the state of the token. I decided this way may not be the best way. We could have is signed in, is not signed in, but just know that like, if the less pieces of state that we use, the better, okay? All right, so, all right, let's go forward. Okay, so we've done this. Once again, here's a more thorough explanation. So we need to do more now, okay? So now we need to add, so the end objective for our application is not for just allow a user to sign in. What is the end objective for our application? Exactly. So the application is what? Is this application allow us to order pizza? Is this application gonna help us find something on a map? Is this application gonna help us get a date tonight? Yeah. Yes. So just think about it. So what I'm trying to say here is that there are applications that do all kinds of stuff, okay guys? All three of those things I just said, there are applications that do that. In this case, our application does not do that. The only thing we care about is the score. So that being said, we want to do something when the user is done typing, okay? So right now, no one here knows exactly when this is done, okay? But as their technical lead, I can tell you that I already read it. You know, once again, you guys read the instructions from Tuesday. or you can just trust me, and just trust me when I say that when this function, calculate words per minute, runs, and this conditional right here on line 139, if this.state.completed is true, that means that the user has successfully typed out all of the characters for the excerpt, okay? So I'm going to add a function call right here. I'm gonna call it post score, okay? I'm gonna pass it words per minute as well as elapsed. Yes, there was a comment somewhere else that said that like this is where you can fire it, but I ran into a problem there. So I'm gonna choose to do it this way, and as your technical lead, you guys are gonna accept it, okay? For real. Or you guys can give me a better solution. I'm dead serious, man. I think the best technical leads would be prepared for you guys to give them a better solution. So before we get going, I'm just gonna console log, okay? I'm gonna say, hey, okay? We're gonna prove that this works, okay? And actually, let's just go ahead and do it in our words per minute and our elapse, okay? Now we're going to do words per minute and elapse. Okay, so my expectation is what, guys? That when I start typing, right? When I start typing, if I complete all the excerpts, we'll see a console log that says go, 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 go a bunch of times, okay? So I say guess, hi. Oops, I got that wrong. What? So I'm gonna click a question mark, and I expect there to be a console log down here, guys, okay? Nice. Your boy Lloyd did something correct, okay? Oh, just another thing, guys. Text this way. I added this one line right here, guys, okay? I was super tired of having to click that button to text, okay? Please don't have forgotten react. It's gonna be really useful. You know, you guys know what autofocus does, okay? It automatically focuses something, okay? I saw that no one did that yesterday. I was kind of surprised. I thought, you know, one of you guys would do it, but it's okay. I think kids are supposed to disappoint their parents a little bit. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be funny here, guys. Come on. All right, so we got the function to fire, right? We got this function to fire, post score, and this function fires in the situation in which the user has completed typing out the excerpt, okay? So we need more. We need to make a fetch request. And I think by this time I may have this memorized, I don't know. So when we call fetch, remember fetch is globally provided. We do not need to export it or import it. We need to do HTTPS : 127.0.0.1 port 5000, and what is the endpoint? Post score, okay? So our next argument is gonna be a configuration, and we're gonna, I don't remember the syntax. It's gonna be a post request, and then headers. That we need to have something in our headers, and we're gonna have a authorization, and then inside of here we're gonna have something called a token. I'm gonna use backticks because I want to interpolate some data, and we say this.state.token. Okay, so we're gonna need to do one more thing. We need to pass it a body, I think. Fuck, man, I wish I didn't delete my example. So in our body, we're gonna pass in our words per minute. We're gonna pass in our time, which is elapsed right here, okay? And what's the last thing? Errors count, okay? And we do this.state.errors count, error count. Will this work? I don't know. Let's go ahead and add an async await because we know that this is an asynchronous request. It takes some time, right? And we're just gonna console log the data, okay? So we're gonna do, I expect, I'm kind of not 100% sure if this will work, but we're gonna test, we're gonna find out. So we're gonna test right here, post request, all right, guys, so I'm gonna test this. Can someone help me? What do we expect to have happen if this works correctly? Just read this code right here. Tell me anything on any screen, on any window. If I click, we start typing, right? What's gonna happen? Shouldn't we see something pop up right here, guys? If we successfully called this API on line 137, and that function fires, should we see something right here, or will it stay black? Yes, we should see a post request, okay? Come on, guys. We gotta put on our thinking hats. Heck yeah. Okay, so now we got a problem. We do in fact see a request, but it's just complaining about an options request right here, okay? We expected that to be a post request, but it was an options request, and the problem is quite simple. The problem, or not quite simple, it's actually quite complicated, but I'm gonna give you guys a high-level overview of what you need to do to solve this problem, okay? You need to go back to the original domain, and we need to trust it again. We need to have the certificate generated again so that we can get past this error, okay? So my expectation is that if we go back to the original domain, we log out, we log back in to set the certificate again, I'm pretty sure that the next time we fire that, we will not get the cross-origin problem, okay? So I'm gonna click login. It's gonna kick me over to Facebook. I click this authorize button. It's gonna end up in the front end application. I type in hey pretty. Oops. And, okay, so now the problem was what? It was a 404 not found. My bad. So if we look at our network, look at the post score, it's saying 404 not found. 404 just basically means that, hey, I didn't understand that route, okay? The server is saying that you made a bad request. Why did we make a bad request, guys? Yes, we do not have a route that does this yet, correct. Someone has been paying attention. So we're gonna define a route called post score, and this is gonna take methods of post, yep. And then we're gonna call the route post underscore score. And what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do here, guys? First off, I'm gonna return some JSON, okay? I'm gonna start real small right now. I just wanna see whether or not we can hit the endpoint, okay? I'm gonna return this JSON, and inside of here, I'm gonna return an object, and I'm gonna say code, and I'm just gonna say 200, okay? And I'm gonna say message is posted score successfully. So what do I want, guys? What do I want to have happen right now? Exactly, that's the only thing. I don't even care what happens in the database right now. I just want to make sure that we can call the API and we can get the status response that we want, okay? So we're gonna go back to our React application. We're gonna type in, we're gonna refresh the game, okay? We're gonna type in, we're gonna clear our console log. We're gonna say no way. Okay, so I think, let's go back to our server logs. Let me try to go again from the beginning. Okay, so it regenerated again. It doesn't trust us again. We go advanced, go to proceed to 127, refresh, log out, log back in. Come on, baby, please work. Sometimes you gotta pray. So I'm gonna do. Let's hope that we get a 200. I really want to get this 200 before we move forward to anything else. So you know what you talking about? Fuck. So we got a post request. This time it's not saying options.
It's clear server logs.
Okay, so now it says code is not defined. Okay, nice, nice. What am I doing wrong here? I think this needs to be in quotes.
Yeah, it's in quotes. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, come on, baby. Come on, Jesus. Okay, so now we're gonna go, no way.
It's because so every time you restart the server, so every time you change the server code, the server restarts, and the start ad hoc makes a random certificate each time. So Google the Chrome no longer trusts it because when your server restarted, it made a new certificate, and that's why it's getting the cert authority invalid error. So you have to log in again with Chrome.
Okay, sweet. I'm so happy I got my technical lead here. You know, I'm working, learning, it's pretty fun. So we go back to the original place. We need to get that certificate signed again and generated again. We click proceed, we're getting a new certificate. Okay, so we log out, we refresh, we log in. Okay, click this button. Okay, now we're gonna try, no way. And bam, We got the response that we wanted. I know that like this was like something that was kind of problematic for some of you guys at the end of the day. I did not give a good explanation. I'm sorry. I will try to do better, and I'm trying to do better now. So you guys can see that our response is what we wanted, and what was the status? 200. Everything seemed to have gone well. So we have a couple more steps, right? We need to add a couple models for scores, right? We need to have a couple models for scores right here. And we're going to, inside this endpoint right here, we're going to create a new score. We're going to say something like, data equals request get JSON right here. So do we have something called request? No. So we need to import this. This is a library, this is a dictionary provided by Flask. So we're gonna import it, and then we're gonna call a method called getJSON on it, okay? The next step will be to do what? We're going to have to create a new score record in our scores table. So we're gonna say score. This should be singular, right? Charles, should this be singular? Score right here?
So what's your model called?
I haven't made it yet, but I wanna know what the convention is.
Yeah, model names should be singular.
But Kwa, you said that users is, you need to make that plural, right? For production in Heroku?
No, it's just my habit.
But he said that he ran into a problem in production when pushing
No,
Heroku.
for user table.
Just only users, right? Okay, so I trust Kwa. I do trust him. He's proven to me that he's put in hard work and he reads a lot just like me. So just know that like that's why people want to hire you, man. We can't know everything. It's impossible.
I
Right?
think we should change the previous models.
You want to do what in models?
Line number 7 here, then.
Okay, what do we do on line 7?
You can just specify the name of the table.
Table name equals.
Table name. I don't know what the syntax is.
Table name.
Table name. Like this?
Yeah, equal to tables stream without capital T.
Like that?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's called users.
Sorry, users.
Users. No. The table, not tables.
That's crazy.
Users.
User, sorry.
Lowercase.
Okay, so
So this is the best way to do it. So your code becomes clear because it's like one user object, but your table name should be users. Rails does this by default.
exactly, yeah. So this is a convention that occurs in other places too. Where I came from, where like I grew up, it does this for free, right? Remember, Flask is a grocery store, and Django is a restaurant. I've been working in a restaurant my whole life. Not my whole life, but a good amount of it, okay?
So the model name should always be singular?
Yeah.
Table name always possible?
Exactly, yeah. In Rails, that's how we do it. The model name is a singular. It's singular for one thing, and then the table will be like the plural because the table will have many of those things, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. Let's keep going, okay? So I'm just gonna give you a high-level overview. So our score, we're gonna have something like what? Words per minute is equal to data words per minute, and then we're gonna have error count. Error count is equal to data dot error count, and then what else? Time is equal to data time. What do they call it? Time? I don't remember. So we're gonna look over here, and yes, we do see it's called time. And this one here, we're gonna call this one error. That seems good. Okay. Okay, so we're going to create a new score. And what's the one more thing that we need in here, guys? Need one more thing? Yes. We say user ID is equal to current user. User.id. Okay. So current user is one of those things that's also not provided for free. We need to get this from somewhere. So we're gonna get some Flask login. Okay. And then additionally, we need to have one more step. In order to get the current user inside this method, we need to copy at login required and paste it above. Oh my bad. Below that at app.route. Okay. Okay, so should this work? Should this work, guys? We're gonna say score is equal to. Why will it not work, Fung? Okay, so we need to create this table, right? So I'm gonna create this table. I'm gonna copy it over. I'm gonna say score right here, and then we're gonna say an ID. And we're gonna say words per minute, and we're gonna say this is an integer. Okay, and the user ID is also an integer, and it's a foreign key. Nullable is Flask. Okay, that seems to make sense. I think we can have. I don't know how to do this correctly right now, so I'm gonna leave it alone. What else we need? We need time, right? That's also going to be a string or an integer. Is there a float right here? Can we do float right here? Can we? I remember, to be honest with you. So we just say code. So let's think about it. We said word per minute, time, what else? Error count. Okay? So this can be an integer. Can time be a float? Here. Let's Google it. So we're gonna say float. Someone help me out. You guys want to tell me? Can I put float here? You just did integer? But what if we wanted to have precision things? What if we were running like 100 meter and we wanted super precise? Or just a string, right? Decimal? Right here?
It's called
Decimal?
decimal.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so we created this. Oh, I skipped one step. We need to comment out this line because we don't want to redirect to a view. This is actually later, my bad. I'm just gonna leave this for here right now. Okay, so score. Now we need to import score, okay? So we're gonna import score from our models. Oops. Okay, so who here thinks this will work? I think it's a good time to ask what is work, okay? What does work mean, right? Because you guys will notice I didn't even save it yet. We didn't even save the score. So maybe the code will run, maybe it won't, who knows? Okay, but we're gonna find out right now, okay? So we're gonna do db.session.add score, and then db.session.commit. Okay, I wish this thing right here, does this return a true or false? Does it? Fuck. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and wrap everything inside of a try catch, okay? Try, except.
You have to indent the code.
Yeah, I know. So we're gonna do try except. So if this does not work, we're going to throw an error. We're gonna say it's 400. Okay. Could not create 403. Could not create the score. Okay. We're gonna a little bit.
Playing some 923 card monster.
Okay, we're saving. So my expectation is this is either gonna work or it's not gonna work. Like, we only got two different ways this can go. Okay. Request your fuse for 400. Right? We refuse to authorize the request. Okay, so as you guys become nerdier in your lives, you're gonna start memorizing these things. Okay, 400. You're gonna have arguments with your technical lead, like no. I like 400. 400 is a good number. Okay. All right, so this is gonna be the last test, and then we're gonna break. I've been talking for over an hour now, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go back to our application. We're gonna go to 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're gonna see that we've been changing our server and that the thing should, that the thing should prompt us again. We click advanced, we go to proceed. Oops, SQL Alchemy has no attribute decimal. So I trusted someone wrong. Fuck. Can we use float? Yeah? I think I need to run this database migration. I feel like I've skipped a step.
Documentation say use numeric decimal.
It says numeric? I'm trusting Charles right now. Sorry, buddy. I already trusted you. Numeric right here. I think this will work. I don't know. We gotta be.
You have to give it like.
Okay, let's just run it. Okay, so now we got a new problem. Relation users do not exist. Who can help me solve this problem, guys? What do I need to do here?
Change your table name, so you have to do Flask DB migrate Flask DB.
Flask DB migrate.
Oh, you have the migration set up.
Okay, so Flask init DB init like this.
You have Flask migrate. If you're not set up Flask migrate,
Not off the top of my head.
drop your table.
Okay, so how do I drop them? Do you want me to just do it here? I would prefer to do it right here. Can I just drop them all right here?
Yeah.
Can I right click and drop all these? I'm gonna just drop all these. So we're gonna drop the tables. Guys, you probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'm a professional and I know what I'm doing. So one day you guys are gonna do this and you're gonna feel pro. Okay, I'm gonna delete all these, throw them all away. There's no data here that's really important. So I'm gonna delete, cool.
Do Flask create DB.
Okay. So then we're gonna do Flask create DB. Okay, so it created our tables. I hope that worked. I don't think these will work.
Refresh.
Here. There you go. Okay. Come on. Okay, so we got our things. Now we can do Flask DB migrate.
No, it's not migrate. Just run the app.
Okay, so now we can do Flask run this. Okay, so we dropped all our tables. Just know that with this database, we screwed up a little bit, right? Kind of, you can think of it that way. We screwed it up. We want to start over. That's cool when you're working in development. Okay, so the expectation is now what, guys? We go to 123, HTTPS, this URL right here. We hit enter. Please work. We go to advanced. We proceed. Okay. Oops. We log in. We authenticate. We authorize. Okay, so now we're back here. And what should we see, guys, if everything went well? If I type in no way, exclamation mark, I should see what? A 200, right? But if anything went wrong, we're gonna return a 400, right? Fuck, I did something wrong. So we made a post request.
You aren't logged in. So you send the headers. You can use the headers with the.
Oh yeah. Think we need more here?
What were the? So go to Chrome and look at the request you sent. So post score didn't have the right header.
I think we need an applications JSON something, right?
Where's the authorization here? You did 3 times or 7%. The options is fine. Authorization. Okay.
302 not found.
And that first one has authorization, so go back to the first one. So authorization. Scroll down to see the. Token.
Let's see token here, guys. Authorization. What the fuck? This is here.
Just try again with the. Make sure you have the token correctly.
Right here, the token's right here.
Okay. Authorization there.
Okay, let's try again, guys. Sometimes it's okay to slap our VCR and then try it again. So let's go back to our console. I'm gonna clear it and do no way. Oop, my bad. Do hey pretty.
So it's.
Fuck, man, we just got this working a second ago.
No, it's okay. So it's what's happening. Okay, you can see what's happening. So go back to the server logs.
The server logs?
Yeah. So the post score is going through above, but then it's saying you're not logged in. So it's trying to kick you over to Facebook. So that's not what we want. So somehow your login is not going through. So you probably don't have the. Do you have the header thing in here?
So
in the server, are you reading from the headers?
Okay, hold on.
The user loader thing. Sorry, what was it? Yeah, you forgot that piece of code.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to our documentation. We forgot something.
This thing.
Quest loader. I thought I added this already. Models.py. Oops. Okay, so your technical lead fucked up. It's all good. A team. Get a team of people putting our heads together on this one. All right, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna start again. HTTPS. Please, baby.
I don't know where you are.
No. I don't know what key I keep hitting and I do that. I really don't know.
It's like a touch bar, right?
It's like hit advance. We're gonna proceed. Okay. We're gonna log out. Okay. We're gonna refresh. We're gonna log in. We're gonna press this button. Okay, so I'm gonna type in, how are you? And what do we get back, guys?
Nice. 200.
Nice. Okay, so now what is the expectation? Should we have a score in here, guys? Should we? So we can click it. Fuck. Hmm. Think about this. Hold on. Do we have a token? We should have one token. Okay. Should have score. Fuck. So look at our server logs. We made a request here. Our posts.
Go back to the server code.
Made a score.
So one thing is that, so both cases, you're returning a 200.
No, I thought right here returning 200 and right here 400.
So that's not the that's returning a 200 with a JSON object inside
That says
400.
Okay.
But if you go to your React code, just read the response.
Okay, so here we need to do more here. Okay, so we're gonna say we'll look at our Go right here. Okay, so we're looking at it, and then do we need to do?
That get JSON or that response.json.
I feel like this one we don't need. Okay, yeah. So we do need to do that. So we're gonna call this. We're gonna give this a better name. Okay, we're gonna say response. Okay, here. We're gonna say const data equals await response.json. And now we're gonna do a little bit more here. We're gonna say if data dot status. Fine. We're gonna do data here. Oops. Okay, we're gonna jump back over to our app. We're gonna refresh this. We're gonna say guess what. So we got a 400 back. Could not create the score. Okay. So this object that was sent back, my bad, I messed up. It was not actually the original status code. It was a different one nested inside. Once again, I want you guys to put status codes and messages inside of this. Why? Because right now you guys are working on the API and the front end, and you guys know what's going back on. But I said this in more detail to the guys back there, and not every one of you guys heard this. But one day you guys are gonna work on applications so complicated where you're only focused on the front end, or you're only focused on the mobile app, or you're only focused on the API, because the application is that complicated. So you need to quite literally tell your front end developer what went wrong. This is super important, okay? Because there's gonna be multiple places where you can post scores. Imagine that this is from a phone and you wanna post a score, right? If you don't give us back anything meaningful, then they're not gonna know what went wrong. Okay, they don't know if they did something wrong or if you did something wrong. That being said, so we can tell that the request failed, right? This 400 right here could not create score. So the reason why this did not throw an error inside of our logs right here is why, guys?
Because post successfully made.
No, we didn't successfully make it, right? We didn't successfully make it. That's why we don't see anything right here. Say again?
I think it didn't show the error because try catch.
Exactly, yes. The try catch caught it. It said, hey, if anything goes wrong here, throw this, return this right here, okay? So just know that's why we don't see an error right here. If we want to see an error right here, we need to remove the try catch and it'll tell us exactly what went wrong. Okay, I promise you that's what it'll do. So right now I'm gonna break. We've been talking for 1 hour and 15 minutes. I want you guys to work on this a little bit for those of you who aren't done and try to go again, and I'll upload the video, okay? Do you have any more questions? I know that the score isn't posted yet, but I promise you, I think you guys can do this, okay? We just need to create a new database record right here. We need to figure out what went wrong here, okay? But we figured out how to send data from our React application to our API, and our API to do the inverse. Okay.
Maybe
Yep.
the React code, we need to JSON string define.
That's probably exactly what it is. Now that I think about it, yeah. So yeah, JSON dot string define. Yeah, I think that's probably what happened. Let's try it again. So we're gonna refresh this. I think it's working.
Reload this again. Reload it.
Fine. What you talking about? There's a couple different things wrong, but just know that we were able to successfully call our API, and our API understood the request, and it parsed it, and then it just did some stuff. And if we had an internal server error, our API needs to be smarter, but we could send data from our React application to our API. That's the most important thing of today's lesson. And we're gonna review it and do it again, okay? So we're gonna break, and obviously I'm just gonna let you guys work on. You guys ask any questions, okay?